Nadya, kami persilakan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, everyone, to the beloved judges and to all of my dear friends attending here today. In this great opportunity, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Nadya Kamilah, and I'm from 10-2. And today, I'll be delivering a very amazing story about Mulan. So, a long time ago, there lived a girl named Mulan that lived in a village in China. She lived with her parents, her mother, and her father. She tried her best to be a good daughter and to bring her family honor. But she was a girl who stood up for herself and spoke her mind when her culture valued silence. When China's enemies, the Hans, came to invade the country, the emperor's secretary came to her village to call one man from each family to go and join the army to protect China. Mulan's father had already served the China's army, and he had a limp in his leg that made it painful for him to walk. Mulan rushed forward to the secretary and begged him to spare her father from more service. The secretary was offended that she spoke to him, and her father was embarrassed by her outburst. But that night, Mulan decided that she couldn't let her father go to war. To save him, she would pretend to be his son. She cut her hair short and stole her father's armor. Then she took her family's horse, Khan, and rode up. She joined the army camp. The spirits of the family's ancestors lived in a pagoda behind their house. When they saw what Mulan had done, they immediately called a meeting to discuss what to do. Then, they sent Mushu, the tiny messenger dragon, to go and wake the great stone dragon to stop Mulan from causing her family dishonor with her deception. But instead of waking the dragon, Mushu accidentally broke the dragon statue. Then he hid the broken dragon away from the other ancestors. After that, he went off to take care of Mulan by himself. But Mushu decided that instead of stopping Mulan and bringing her back home, he would help her to become a hero. That way, he would also become a hero, and then the other ancestors would finally stop making fun of him. When Mushu caught up with Mulan, she was startled by the tiny dragon and smashed him with her foot. But then Mushu convinced Mulan to let him help. Mulan's time in the army didn't go well at first. She didn't make any friends, and in fact, many of the men hated her because she was a little bit clumsy. Captain Shang made the company work hard. Mulan, who claimed to be a boy named Ping, was so bad at all the drills that Captain Shang told her to leave and go back home. But Mulan didn't give up. She worked even harder, and eventually, she and the rest of her company made the company proud. In the process, Mulan also made friends with her fellow soldiers, Yao, Ling, and Chen Ho. As the company traveled through the mountains to meet up with the main army, they were attacked by the Huns. They were going to be overrun. But Mulan had an idea. Instead of shooting the last rocket towards the Huns, she took it with her and ran towards them. After that, she turned and shot the rocket up towards the mountain. You missed, the Han general Shan Yu said with a smirk. But Mulan's rocket caused an avalanche that wiped away all of the Han army. It nearly wiped away her own company too. But Mulan and Han leaped off the edge of a cliff in order to save Captain Shang, who would have been knocked off the side of the mountain. Mulan was wounded in the battle, and the doctor found out that she was a girl. The punishment for lying to an officer was death. But Captain Shang spared her life because because she had saved his. A life for a life. My debt is repaid, he said. Then the company left her on their way to the imperial city to be honored by the emperor for defeating the Huns. But just as Mulan made a small fire on a snowy mountain and resolved to go back home, she saw that the Huns were not defeated. They were coming back out of the snow and heading to attack the imperial city. Mulan, Han, and Mushu raced towards the imperial city to warn everyone. But Mulan was dressed as a woman again, and no one would listen to her. Not even Captain Chang, not even her fellow soldier friends. After that, the Huns attacked. They surprised the imperial guard and took the emperor imprisoned in his own place. But Mulan had an idea. She asked her friends to help her rescue the emperor, and they all agreed. Even Captain Chang also came to help. Mulan dressed her friends up as women and used the skills that they learned in the army to climb up the palace wall. In their disguises, they managed to trick the Han guards into letting them in, and then knock them out and tie them up together. And then they found the emperor and helped him escape by sliding a rope down the balcony. To keep Shan Yu from going after the emperor, Mulan cut off the rope, trapping herself on the balcony. Then she scrambled all the way up to the roof, and Shan Yu followed. But Mulan cleverly used her fan to take the sword from Shan Yu. After that, she pinned his coat into the roof. Then Mushu, strapped into a firework, used his dragon fire to light up the fuse and shot the rocket towards Shan Yu. The explosion caused Mushu to fling down onto Mulan and Shan Yu to the rest of the fireworks, which exploded and lit up the night sky. The emperor was grateful to Mulan for rescuing him and banishing the Huns from China. In front of the whole crowd of people, the emperor bowed to Mulan. Then, all of the other people did too. So, the moral of the story is, we need to be true to ourselves and we need to be brave. We cannot let anyone step down on us. To achieve our goals and dreams, we need to be true. And we don't have to always follow up with people's expectations. Well, that is all that I can tell. And if you have something to tell, you can just ring on my cell. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.